Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this week's MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley, Brian Dieters. You saw it in the opening. Let's start there. That was Owen Taylor from our Morton High School bowling team. A 300 game, and I loved the excitement he had, hugging his parents, hugging coaches, just a lot of energy.
You gotta love it, right? You gotta love the emotion. You gotta love the fact that obviously that meant so much to him, and clearly these kids are working so hard at what they do in their craft, and just to get that ultimate achievement, a perfect game, and not the first one we've had for this team. Pretty special.
Yeah, and they won their tournament down at Savoy this past weekend. And the other thing that I saw as far as like just a statistical nod is they averaged a 217, and just kind of, I think, for a lot to that's like 2 games worth of bowling.
Way better than I know I can do for sure. And I couldn't begin to tell you what the average is of a high school bowling team, but that certainly sounds impressive to me.
Yeah, and then girls continue to excel as well in the bowling. So obviously we're excited about that. And, we saw this kind of consistent Potter's excellence all around. Maybe we should talk about what's behind us. This is girls basketball. This was pink night on Tuesday night in the Potter Dome. Washington came in ranked number 1 in the state, 17-0, and they left 17-1.
Love it. Guess I wasn't aware of the fact that they were number 1 in the state. I knew they were ranked very high in a very tough conference opponent. Congratulations to the kids. I know you did the game along with Brian Gordon, a friend of ours, and I heard it was just an electric atmosphere. So the kids just being able to get that done is a testament to them, the coach, and obviously Coach King has picked things up right where they've been for years.
Yeah, I think, that's maybe the part of this that's the most fun is you see Coach King obviously building on all the amazing things Coach Becker did, but also the realization that he is in some ways also put his own stamp on it, right?
Oh, yeah, you would hope so, and I'm sure that's the case. I have not yet had a chance to see them live, and looking forward to that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, let's take a moment. After the game, Coach King brought up Abby Brooks, who did an amazing job playing defense against Avery Tibbs, who's Washington's all-state guard that came in averaging, 20-plus points a game and all that, and Abby pretty much shut her down. So we had a chance to talk to Abby, and you'll hear a little bit of Coach King in there as well, and then a little bit of highlights as well. So let's take a look.
Abby, let's start with this. Obviously, defense was huge tonight, and you got the assignment on Tibbs for a lot of the game, and I feel like
how good does she do? How good does she do?
Fantastic.
Yeah. We might have said a thing or two about the defense.
Just talk about just the mindset, and I read Dave Kindred's column about the Dunlap game where you got Haywood and made her life difficult. Just talk about your mindset as a defender.
Well, in a game like this, my job was to focus on Tibbs only, and so being able to rely on my teammates to be in help and letting me focus solely on her, and then just being able to take away her three-point shot and just trying to run them off the three-point line.
Well, we talked about that throughout the broadcast. 2 three-pointers for them all night. Coach, say a little bit about just the effort of the entire team defensively. You're talking about a team that averages 71. You held them to basically half what they're used to scoring. Can you just talk about the strategy that went into that and the effort the ladies put out there tonight?
It's far more effort than strategy. They deserve all the credit. There's not a whole lot of strategy that we can take credit for. We talk about players over plays, right? So obviously we know they're a three-point shooting team. And it's easier said than done just to say, hey, don't let them shoot threes, right? But that obviously was a big factor coming into tonight's game. So you can have all the strategy in the world, but it comes down to effort and execution. And these girls were tired, and they just battled through every screen. They talked, they communicated, and they just showed so much heart, resilience, grit, and relentlessness on both ends of the floor. But I think it really showed on the defensive end tonight for sure.
I guess this is for both of you. We'll start with Abby. Coaches talk about, obviously, the effort side of it, and we talk about your defense. But, all of you, the entire roster, just the rebounding side of it, too. I felt there were so many times where Washington missed a shot, and there was a chance for offensive rebound for them, and you're battling for rebounds. Penelope's battling for rebounds. Abby Van Mennen, everybody's battling for rebounds. Just talk about that effort on the glass tonight, too.
After every rebound, I always make sure to box out and then just find the ball and try to get a hand on it, or just do anything we can to secure it.
Again, Washington's an unreal team, right? But they'll kill you in transition, and then they do a great job of securing some of their misses and kick out threes. So we knew if we could slow them down and make them try to score on us in the half court, and do our best to control the defensive glass, we thought we could hang with them. And we gave up 6 offensive rebounds in the first half, and we cleaned that up a bit in the second half. And just the pursuit of the basketball, just going and getting it, just showed so much heart, effort, and grit.
The defense part of it. I mean, obviously Abby playing great on Tibbs, but you saw the highlights there. Penelope Drake with a block and a steal, and just the amazing defensive effort of this team.
It's so cliche to say, but so true that defense wins championships. That's certainly the case in basketball. If you're locked in, defense can travel too when you go on the road. And so to have that commitment, that buy-in is critical. And so, it was just really impressive to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one more stat for you before we shift to our next topic. By my count, the Morton girls basketball program, this is going all the way back when the program started, has 995 program wins. So we are approaching 1,000 program wins.
That's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, clearly we're going to hit that this year.
Oh, well, 100%. I mean, and hopefully we're hitting it 5 games from now against Galesburg, which should be a huge one too, because Galesburg is another top 5 team in the state. So
yeah, I mean, they're a storied tradition going back into the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
so.
Let's talk boys basketball. Just kind of keep it going here.
Transition.
Boys obviously have been playing well. They're tied for first place. Big win over East Peoria last week. We talked a little bit about that. And now they're in a position where they play Washington on Friday night. Winner moves into, potentially East Peoria will still be tied with them, depending on how the Raiders do in their game. But it's a chance to get a solo hold to first place.
Seems like for the guys that in particular, the league is a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams kind of jostling for the top. You had mentioned 3 of them. Yeah. I think it's also important to mention, of course, Metamora is always in the fold, particularly in recent years. So, but our guys are right there. Yeah. And the thing that I keep hearing from a lot of the players over the last couple of weeks is that things are working. The pieces are in place. They feel the connection, the unity, the commitment to one another, that chemistry that's critical. I think they all agree is there. And now it's just a matter of translating it into more wins on the court. As you said, a huge win against East Peoria with some major strong players and D1 recruits, Illinois recruit. And then they took care of business up at Dunlap over the weekend, this past weekend. And so, they've got it going. And I think what's really exciting about this group is they seem to have fit into their roles. And when I think about teams that I coached over the years that had a lot of success, there was buy-in from the end of the bench to the guy who's out there the most. And that's pretty important. So that's a credit to Coach Zeller.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked in the past about them getting healthy. And I think, that's huge, right? I think that helps that buy-in, right? Everybody's maybe in the role they feel like they should be in because the team's got that full complement of players.
There you go.
Let's talk about another group that's been doing well, and health kind of got to us this week because we were supposed to interview these guys, and a couple of them got sick. So hopefully we're gonna do this next week. Our swimming and diving team still doing great, but this time of year you sometimes battle illness a little bit.
Yeah, it's been the matrix around here to avoid it. So
it really
that's true in the pool as well.
Yeah, but they're doing great. They've been highly successful in all their recent invites, and obviously have the grand plan to send a couple kids to state again, and we hopefully get a chance to talk to some of those guys next week.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
It'll be happening.
Yeah. And then I'll kind of wrap up this one talking a little bit about wrestling. One of the nice things about every season for Morton Wrestling is we obviously get to host our own invite. Mm-hmm. And that was over this past weekend. We'll put up a little video of that as well, just because I think it's fun for people to see kind of the atmosphere in the Potter Dome, right? A lot of times wrestlers end up spending the majority of their time in the wrestling room. And it's nice when you get out and get the atmosphere 100%. In the gym.
Wrestling tournaments are they're cool events, from my memories of being there, because you've got all these different, the matches going on,
Yeah.
but people kind of moving in and out. There's kind of a track vibe to that,
Yeah.
I think, a little bit. But our guys continue to do really well on the mat, and I know we're excited to continue moving forward here into January.
Yeah, looking forward to getting a couple of them maybe on the show as well. I mean, I know just kind of talking about wrestling events being cool. I mean, I know we're a little ways away from this, but I remember last year we had Ben Schaefer on after he went to state, and he talked about that, as a kid that's played multiple sports, one of the most amazing experiences of his athletic career. And I do think, like, truly, and this is from somebody that's by no means a wrestling expert, that the wrestling state experience is top tier as far as any sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Yeah, let's wrap it up there. I mean, I think we've had a lot of great stuff. We anticipate more great stuff.
We do. I do want to comment on Mr. Lindley's outfit here. We're filming right before the Illini Northwestern basketball game tonight. And would you explain to our audience here what this is about?
Yeah, the Wildcats, my alma mater, have been struggling a little bit. Back when I was student teaching, so it's been a few years, but I was helping coach, and I had a player named John Carlson. John was a left-handed pitcher, and his way of taking away the other team's momentum or the other team's mojo, if you will, John would wear the opposing team's color underneath his jersey.
Yeah, and it's made me unsettled because I'm an Illini alum, and so we have this rivalry going. But I've declared Ryan my enemy for the day, and so hopefully, fingers crossed, things go well for the Illini tonight. Who knows? We don't know yet. But anyway, thought we'd share that with you.
One thing we're not going to show is that there has been an agreement between myself and our colleague Bob Hornsby that the loser will wear the other team's gear on Friday. I mean, maybe we'll show Mr. Hornsby if he's in purple. We're not going to film me in actual Illini gear.
I'm hoping to see you in orange and blue again this week.
Well, maybe we'll update whether or not it happens at least.
That's fair.
Until then, though, for Brian Dieters, I'm Ryan Lindley. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.